Hi, welcome to AlarmsOne Weekly Webinar Series where we'll help you make your IT alert management simple and effective. This is the fourth and final webinar of the series and it is about alarm escalations. If you have missed out our previous webinars, you can watch the videos in our website. The topic for today's webinar is how to notify the right person at the right time using escalation policies. We are the speakers for today's webinar. I am Jensen from AlarmsOne. I am a marketing analyst. I have our product expert Bharna with me. She is a technical staff and she has been with AlarmsOne since its beginning. AlarmsOne is a product from Zoho Corporation. We were established in 1996 and we are a company behind three brands, namely Zoho Work Online, ManageEngine and WebNMS. Zoho Work Online offers a suite of 35 plus business productivity apps like Zoho CRM, Zoho Mail, Zoho Connect, Zoho Desk and Zoho Creator, and it has over 25 million users. ManageEngine makes IT management apps and has over 25 apps like Op Manager, App Manager, Site 24/7 and Service Desk Plus. ManageEngine has over 120,000 enterprise customers. WebNMS is an enterprise IoT solution provider and has over 25,000 deployments worldwide. This is the agenda for today's webinar. We'll see how missing a critical alert can affect your business. You'll also learn how to configure escalation policies to notify a secondary technician if your on-call technician fails to respond to an alert. We'll also see how you can use outbound integrations to make your incident management more effective. And we'll learn how to associate escalation policies with notification profiles. At the end of this webinar, we'll have a question and answer session. You can post your questions anytime by clicking on the question icon and we'll be happy to answer your questions at the end of the session. No matter what size your business is, it's important that you respond to critical alerts. If you are a small or medium business, you might be using few IT management tools to monitor your IT. And if you run a large business, you might be using multiple tools. But critical alerts are called so because failing to respond to them can cause serious harm to your business. You may miss a critical alert due to many reasons. First is that you are not looking into your email inbox all the time and you are not waiting for alert notifications. So there is a higher chance that you will miss a critical alert if you depend completely on email notifications. Now let's consider that you also receive SMS notifications about critical events. But what if your SMS inbox is flooded with random text messages? Finding an alert notification among tens or hundreds of messages is not going to be easy. The chances of missing a critical alert is very high. At times when you are caught up with some other works, you may fail to notice alert notifications. When critical alerts are not responded on time, it causes serious damage to your business and you don't want that. Let's see the consequences one has to face if critical alerts are not responded on time. Consider that you are monitoring your IT with the help of few tools, and when your monitoring tool alerts you about a server outage or a network outage, it means that your business is not fully functional at the moment. So, it is important to act on the alert. Failing to do so can lead to extended outages and it even increases business downtime. While it affects the productivity of your business, it also affects the reputation your business has among your customers. Customers easily lose faith in your business if your service availability is very low and you end up losing a bunch of loyal customers. Any business that suffers regular downtime loses its credibility and it's hard to regain the trust of your customers once it is lost. This increases the number of unhappy customers, and with so many competing businesses in the market, customers easily find an alternative. If you keep on losing customers or if your service goes unavailable regularly, it is obvious that your revenue goes down. If you are looking to increase your revenue by increasing your uptime, you can't afford to miss critical alerts. We have discussed the reasons behind technicians failing to respond to critical alerts and we have seen how it affects your business. Keeping your business in mind, it's wise to have a contingency plan. So how do you make sure that you never miss critical alerts? I'll tell you how. With AlarmsOne, you can notify the right person at the right time every time. And when your on-call person fails to respond to an alert, you can escalate the alert to a higher level and automatically notify the next technician who is available to respond to that alert. In this way, you will never miss critical alerts. Now Bhavna will show you how to configure escalation policies to escalate alerts and make sure every alert is resolved before it's too late. She'll also discuss few scenarios where you can use AlarmsOne to make your IT alert management more effective.
Hi, this is Bhavna from AlarmsOne. I'm a technical staff working for AlarmsOne. Now I'm going to explain you about adding escalation policy in AlarmsOne. To create a new escalation policy in AlarmsOne, you have to hit on the menu icon in the header tab of AlarmsOne page. Click on settings in that, and you could add escalation policy by hitting on this button. Then the configuration page for escalation policy appears like this. Here you have to provide name for escalation policy and provide escalation recipients. You can provide contact person, schedules configured, or outbound apps like SDP, Slack, etc. in your recipients list. Now I'm going to explain you about the working of escalation policy with different scenarios. Scenario 1. Let us assume we have a full-time technician, Kevin. The work of Kevin is to manually review all the alarms that is coming into AlarmsOne account and act on the alarm. So once the alarm comes, I did not send any notification to Kevin as he is already manually reviewing all the alarms. But what if Kevin misses out alarm? So to avoid that, after a certain time period, if an alarm is not acknowledged or closed by Kevin, then Kevin should be notified. In case if Kevin is not available to act on those alarms, it has to be escalated to his manager, Gary. So we can see a configuration for this scenario. So this is the required escalation policy configuration for scenario 1. Here I have given a name for my escalation policy, and whenever an alarm is triggered, I do not send notification to anybody. But after 5 minutes, if the alarm is not acknowledged or closed, then I send notification to Kevin. After 8 minutes, if the alarm is still not acknowledged or closed by Kevin, then it is notified to Gary. Say, for example, I get an alarm at 12 p.m. So once an alarm comes in, I assume that Kevin takes care of the alarm. But if Kevin misses out the alarm, after 5 minutes, if the alarm is not acknowledged or closed by Kevin, then I send a notification to Kevin. That is at 12:05 p.m. If Kevin is also not responding on alarm, then at 12:08 p.m., that is after 8 minutes, if the alarm is still not acknowledged or closed, then I send notification to Gary. So here the notification part, it can be in different modes of notification like SMS, call, or email. That can be configured in your contacts page. Now I'm going to explain you scenario 2. Here, Harold, a member of your IT ops team, receives an alert notification whenever an event occurs in your infrastructure. So depending on the severity of the alarm, he has only 5 minutes to resolve the incident. If he fails to do so, then the alarm has to be escalated to the next level, that is to the ops team's Slack account. After 5 more minutes, if it is not resolved, then the alarm has to be escalated to head of IT ops, that is John. So let me show you a configuration for scenario 2. So this is the required escalation policy for that. Here I have given a name for my escalation policy, and whenever an alarm is triggered, I send immediate notification to Herald. After 5 minutes, if an alarm is not acknowledged or closed, then I send notification to my Slack team chat. If there is no member in my team chat active, and if the alarm is not closed or acknowledged yet, then after 10 minutes, If the alarm is still not closed, then I send notification to John. Say for example, an alert comes in at 12 p.m. So I send immediate notification to Harold at 12 p.m. At 12:05 p.m. I check if the alarm is acknowledged or closed. If no action is performed over that alarm, then I send notification to Slack DC. Then after 10 minutes, like that is at 12:10 p.m., I check if my alarm is not closed or still is it in acknowledged or closed state. If my alarm is not closed at this state, then I send the notification to John. In this way, I guarantee that I do not miss out the critical alarm at any level of my escalation. Scenario 3. So we have a scenario where we have to send notification to Gary immediately whenever there is something wrong with your printer or scanner in the infrastructure. You need to escalate the alarm and automatically create a ticket in your SDP tool or help desk tool if Gary doesn't fix the alert and close the alert in 5 minutes. So let me show a configuration for this scenario. So this is the required escalation policy for this scenario. So I have given an escalation policy name, and whenever an alarm is triggered, I send notification immediately to Gary. After 5 minutes, if the alarm that is notified to Gary is not acknowledged or closed, then I raise that alarm as a ticket in ManageEngine SDP. So in this way, if an alarm comes in at 12 p.m., I send immediate notification to Gary at 12 p.m. and I check at 12:05 p.m. if the alert is acknowledged or closed. If it did not satisfy any of these conditions, then I notify that alarm as a ticket in SDP tool. This is my scenario 4. Here, I have to notify people in my schedule, that is in the US first quarter, whenever an alert is triggered. Uh, if the on-call person in my schedule failed to respond to the alarm, then within 5 minutes, I have to send the notification to Kevin. If Kevin also doesn't respond to the alarm in another 5 minutes, then I have to send the next level of notification to John. So this is a required escalation policy configuration for scenario 4. Here I have given a name, and whenever an alarm is triggered, I send immediate notification to US first quarter schedule. So in this level, the person who is on call at the time when an alert alarm is triggered will receive the notification. If the person who is on call did not respond to the alarm in 5 minutes, and if the alarm is not acknowledged or closed even after this 5 minutes, then it will be notified to Kevin. So if Kevin failed to close the alarm in 10 minutes, then it will be notified to John. Say for example, an alarm comes in at 12 p.m. I send a notification to the on-call person in my US first quarter schedule. If the person who is in on call in my schedule did not respond, then at 12:05 p.m. I send notification to Kevin. If Kevin did not close my alarm within 12:10 p.m., then I send notification to John. Activating a escalation policy. So let me tell you how you can associate the created escalation policy in your notification profile. To do that, you can either create a new notification profile or open an already existing one. If you're going to open your already existing one, just hit on the edit and then choose the escalation policy drop down box and select the escalation policy that you have configured. Let me show you how this escalation policy is associated with the notification profile. I have created a new notification profile with the profile name of US first quarter notification profile. And I have configured the application list as all of my application and the profile criteria as severity matches critical. So whenever I get alarms coming into my AlarmsOne account, and if the severity match is critical, then I trigger the alarm immediately to the person on call in my schedule, that is US first quarter schedule. If the person who is on call did not respond to my alarm, that is if the alarm is not acknowledged or closed in 5 minutes, then I will notify to Kevin. If the alarm is still not closed by Kevin in 10 minutes, then it will be notified to John. In this way, I could associate the created escalation policy with my notification profile to activate the policy. So why do we have to do this? With this escalation policy, we can guarantee that our users will not miss out any critical alarm. By that, you can reduce your IT downtime and keep your customers happy. So I have explained some scenarios in this webinar for escalation policy. So if you have a different escalation policy scenario for your infrastructure, or if you have any other feedbacks or suggestions or trouble in creating escalation policy, please post your questions to support@alarmsone.com. We will be very happy to help you. Thank you.
You can contact us using our phone numbers, or you can write to us at support@alarmsone.com. You can also participate in our discussions in forums, and if you need detailed instructions about different features and configurations, you can visit our user guide. We'd love to hear your feedback about this webinar, and to make our next webinar series even better, we request you to write to us at support@alarmsone.com. I hope this webinar series was useful for you and hope to see you in our next webinar series. Thanks for joining us.